Finally, the audience, who came here to listen to me today on this very special day. Thank you. However, constantly worrying about how your age is starting to show or wishing you were born lighter, our body is not an Instagram image. Companies like these emphasize the fact that fair skin is beauty or stay young. Women try to hide their aging because of the fear that they will be given less attention or that they will lose their beauty. If you're able to change it, then change it. I'm not able to change my skin tone, so I learned to love the way it is and not constantly hate myself because of it. But there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself so that you feel more confident. I would constantly hear mean comments about dark skin from my peers that not always had to do anything with me, but just beauty in general. Mostly about the generational gap between millennials and Gen Z. Like, one thing I realized in the communication gap was there's no sugarcoating, or there's more sugarcoating in Gen Z than in millennials.
Today my guest is Rashi Gupta. She will share the personal story of her studying abroad. Is it a dream or a decision? Hello, Rashi. How are you?
Hello, Miss Akulina. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, are you in vacation now?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
back to Vietnam. Yeah.
Yes. Only for 1 month or how many months?
No, it's a 4-month summer vacation. I
4
came from
months.
Canada.
Mm.
Yeah, long vacation.
Long vacation. Good. So, my first question is to you. What inspired you to pursue your studies in Canada? In a time when study visas are being reduced, inflation is rising, and immigration policies are tightening, what gave you the courage to still move forward?
Yeah, so at first it wasn't really Canada that I really wanted to go to. It was mostly about the university, UBC, University of British Columbia, and that has been my dream school since 10th grade. So I was really preparing to get into that because of its high quality education and its prestige. And I always wanted to go to UBC. The fact that it was in Canada wasn't really my focus. I just realized that I'm really grateful to be in Canada because of its rich diversity once I was there, but it was always about the university itself.
That's great. That's about multiculturalism, right?
Yeah.
Was this always your dream or was it a decision shaped by opportunity, influence, or something deeper?
I feel like coming into solder was like specifically UBC solder wasn't my dream because I wasn't that knowledgeable about its specific resources or the things that it provides. It was mostly about just UBC. I always knew I was interested in business though, but I wasn't super knowledgeable about the solder faculty itself. And I knew that I wasn't interested in science or engineering because when I started getting into reading books, I realized I was always interested in finance and business, and I think a lot of that was shaped by my father because he owns a business and he likes to talk about, financial intelligence and owning your business. And he suggested me this book called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And then after reading that book, I realized that I'm super interested in finance and business related fields, and I knew that this is the path I want to go into. And because Sauder is the #1 business school in Canada and like really prestigious around North America, I knew I wanted to come to UBC Sauder.
Yeah, that means that's the hook is your father and the book, Rich Dad
Yeah.
Poor Dad. Have you ever felt in your student life out of place anytime? So,
Yeah, actually, in Vietnam, like I went to an international school. I didn't have many friends because I was different from everyone. I didn't look the same. And maybe because of my dark skin, though in my last 2 years of school, I made a good friend group, I still felt out of place because usual excluded and not wanted. So Like I felt ugly and like excluded all the time. And to combat that, I decided to give a TEDx speech in my last year of school. And that TEDx speech is about toxic beauty standards and what the society expects when you're like to like this ideal beauty. And I really wanted to raise awareness for girls who go through the same thing as me, and to also remind myself that I'm beautiful in my own way. But I just really needed to get that self confidence in myself up. So, which is why I gave a TEDx speech, and which is why it also shaped why I wanted to come to Canada, because of the rich diversity that the country has.
Yes, that's true. I have watched your video of TEDx. It's really inspiring and motivating because, most of the girls in their school, they go through this kind of situation, but they are not really vocal about their own experience whenever they feel sad, whenever they feel really low at their school. But I think more girls or boys, that doesn't matter, we have to be more vocal whatever we are going through, and we should have the freedom of speech. I think
Yeah.
better to say it's the right word. And Rashi, I feel you are the beautiful girl, and in your own way. That doesn't define your, nothing defines your skin color, that doesn't really differ you from the others. You have your
Yeah.
own unique beauty. We all have our own unique beauty. That's why we are beautiful. So,
Exactly. Thank you. I really appreciate
exactly.
that.
And society's beauty standard is something really special that doesn't, we sometimes we cannot fulfill that. But overall, we are not the WhatsApp or maybe the Instagram image. We are not
Yeah,
at all.
that
So
was my
we are
time.
beautiful on our own way. Okay, high school students, they are sometimes clueless. They don't know how to start, what to start, and how to apply of studying abroad. So, can you give them a quick 3 tips that can help them? They can start working out on their own.
Yeah, so for university applications itself, I would suggest that whatever like university you get into or are your top choices, I would suggest to make a list of advantages and disadvantages in one like paper for each university, and to like cross out anything that you don't really want, or like to emphasize what you really want. Like for like my family, costs weren't as big of a factor as like the happiness or like the prestige of the program. For some families it's the cost. So I think really discuss with your family what you want, what your family wants, and then make a list of advantages and disadvantages based on that, and just see which one has the most advantages, which one you will be most happy in. I think choosing the university, definitely making a list like that is what I did, and it what really helped me to choose UBC. And in terms of like other tips, I would suggest that first of all, always prioritize the quality of the program that you want to get into, like the faculty or the subject that you want to learn. How is it in that university? Don't really look at the country or the university first. Always look at the program quality that you want to study in, because that's what you're going to major in. So, yeah, that's my tip.
The most important thing is our budget. Everybody cannot put their children in a expected university for their money also. Sometimes
True.
that is also another point. They have to think about the budget at the beginning.
Yes.
After that, they can do whatever you are just suggesting or advising them. Yes.
Yeah.
So, after living in Canada for a while now, what's the one thing that completely surprised you? Can you share with us? That's
Yeah.
cultural
So
shock or something else?
yeah. So one thing I realized, like I always knew Canadians are like these really nice and way too polite people, but I didn't really know how it was until I went there. And one thing I realized is that they say thank you and sorry in every single thing. Like in Vietnam, usually like you would walk around normally, or you would go into an elevator, and if someone is there, you would just smile at them and then like not really talk, right? But in Canada, it's very normal to make small talk with someone, to like smile, and it's really easy to make friends because they're like
Communicate.
they say Yeah, they're super polite and stuff. And also like saying sorry in almost everything. Like one thing I realized in my classes is that when students need help from their professors, they always go to the professor and they say sorry first. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Can you help me with this? So I was a bit confused. I was like culture shocked. Like, why are we saying sorry to ask help from the professor? They are supposed to help you. So that's something I was like, whoa, that's weird. But like I adapted to it pretty quick and I found it quite polite and it's a very Canadian culture thing, but it was nice.
Because whenever I meet someone, I smile, even though they are not from my nationality. Still, I smile and I try to start a small talk. But some
Yeah.
people, they have the fear of mixing with others. Also, that is also another problem. Now you are in vacation, right? So, are you enjoying your time with your mom and dad, or your brother, or like what are you doing now?
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying my time. Like I'm chilling with my family. I'm eating my mom's homemade food, which I
Homemade food.
missed for a whole year.
She's a
Yeah,
great cook.
amazing cook. Yeah.
Amazing.
And and to also like use my time productively and to grow my skills, I'm also doing an internship at my father's company because as a first year it's pretty hard to get it somewhere else. So I just like I was lucky to have my father's company and I could just help him out. So I'm doing a lot of stuff like I'm designing a website for my dad's company. I designed a profile, helped with HR stuff, did outreach for new business partnerships. So I'm learning a lot of things that's related to my field, and it really helps me like improve my communication and soft skills. So it's really fun.
That's amazing. But whatever, like you are the daughter of the boss, right? In your like in your father's company. But what
Yeah.
do you feel it's really we need to know about the communication part, because communication is a very important thing in every field. So as a newcomer, newbie, so you are getting more attention from them. But at the same time, what do you feel that you need to know more about that matter? What is something unique? Can you share with us?
Yeah, so one thing I noticed, like it's not really about me being the daughter of my father, but like it's mostly about the generational gap between millennials and Gen Z. Like one thing I realized in the communication gap was there's no sugar coating, or there's more sugar coating in Gen Z than in millennials, because I realized that when I wanted to confront something with my colleagues or with the other employees, I would write a really big email and I would like emphasize, make it as polite as possible. Also because I was the youngest, but also because I was taught to communicate that way in my university. And when it comes to millennials, I think it's just more direct, more it's a different way of communication, as in
Yeah.
it's not as sugar coated
Yes, yes.
as Gen Z. So what that's what I realized. And maybe the way of communication in Gen Z is not as effective because we exaggerate everything so much, but it's just something that I noticed between the two generations.
That's fascinating. I found it because like millennial and the Gen Z. Obviously, there will be a difference. Always, there will be a generational gap. But what we'll
Yeah.
have to think about that, what we can get good or great from Gen Z. I am listening too many things and watching videos like about Gen Z, but I am learning from Gen Z too. And what you
Yeah.
have noticed, Rashi, this will be helpful for your whole life. Wherever
Mhm.
you will do the job in Canada, maybe outside of your country, definitely something you see wrong, somebody is doing, you need to sugarcoat. The way you like communicate, that makes a lot of difference.
Mhm.
Somebody is doing mistakes. It's okay. We are not perfect. Everybody,
Yeah.
you have some problem, I have some problem. But yes, if you show me the finger out the problem, that's really hurts sometimes. Better to
Yeah.
sugarcoat that, and that feels good also.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
a great way of communication too. So thank you, Rashi, for sharing a lot. And within such short time, you have shared very informative and very insightful information. What is your biggest fear about studying abroad? I'm asking to the audience. Feel free to drop a message on the comment box. comment box. Rashi can help you. Maybe I can help you to find out the solution together. Right, Rashi?
Yes.
Are you ready to
Yes.
help?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
And I can definitely, like, I can also share my Instagram or something so that if anyone has questions, they can ask me directly.
Anytime you can ask Rashi whatever problem you have, and if you want a solution, Rashi will help you. She's always there.
Yes.
Thank you,
Okay.
Rashi. Thank you.
Thank you
You
so
have taken
much.
out some time. I'd like to conclude my conversation with Rashi today. You can share, like, and comment on our comment box.